And for some reason, in that particular class, it was the first time that I could look at the timeline of history and see John McKendricks' name in the timeline of the work of the Spirit. And it just opened up a whole new world for me to know that I was born with a specific purpose in mind in this place, in this time, to do something significant for God. The thing that really stood out to me the most was there was a special time in the SPN when Pastor Jack kind of stopped for a moment. It seemed as though he was talking off the record, and he was calling for fathers in the faith, and he was speaking about the importance of not only mentoring others, but also developing personally. And I had realized that I'd spent a lot of time in ministry with an attitude to serve, but I had not really done a lot by way of spiritual development. And so it was at that point in time that I really felt like God was speaking to me specifically to become a part of the King's College and Seminary. And so it was at that time that I enrolled. Well, prior to coming to the Kings, I think that like most pastors, you go through a dry season and you are looking for patterns of ministry. And you can buy one for $19.99 on the internet, but you don't really necessarily have an idea of the spirit behind the ministry. And I do feel that at the Kings, one thing that has been formational and instrumental has, especially by serving here at the Kings, I've kind of seen servant leadership as being saturated in almost every department. When you're here, you learn to serve, and it's not duty, it's devotion. And so that has really been something that has impacted me. And I learned that it really isn't about a system or a methodology. It really is a heartprint of ministry that we learn from seeing everyone up the chain of leadership here at the Kings model for us. I think the dry season was really driven off of not feeling a sense of community, not feeling as though I was connected. Although I was doing the reading and I was buying the worship tapes, I really felt like there was something more that I needed by way of impartation. And I really believe that I've always seen Pastor Jack as a father figure, a father type. And I just could not resist the opportunity to be shaped, even if it's to spend a short deal of time. I feel that I could not have gotten that kind of relationship or that kind of mentoring without investing myself a little bit. And so that's why I made the choice to maybe leave a dry season and submit myself to the struggles and rudiments of college to try to grow as a person and to develop as a minister who I felt needed to be more servant-led, spirit-formed. I do have to juggle a lot of things. I work at the Kings full-time. I work for Dr. Chappell in the academics office. I pastor a church full-time, and I also go to school. And I'm oftentimes asked how it is that I'm able to juggle my schedule. And I think as I've thought about it long and hard, it really has to do with passion and priority. For me, this has been such a priority, and I feel so committed to the process that I was able, with which I believe the Spirit's help, to find a place of balance. I'll tell you that in my family, they've seen the change in me as a person. Our church has seen me as I've grown, and they're happy to see the depth that's developed in me by being a part of the Kings. I think as a person, you really wouldn't give yourself to something sacrificially unless you believed in it. And for me, this has been a place that I've been able to be willing to invest myself because I could see the tangible results in my life, in my character, and in my spirit.